Hey everybody, welcome back to On the Glide Slope. New video today. We are going to be flying in some custom scenery today. I've designed, well, let's start at the beginning. I had a request from a reader to do a flight in northern Idaho and Montana. In particular, to consider doing a flight from Thompson Falls up to possibly Bonners Ferry. This was from Rackety Jack. He said, I live in Missoula now, but lived in Thompson Falls for 7 years. Try a flight out of Thompson Falls and go north to either Sandpit, Idaho, or Bonners Ferry. Both airports, same area. Flight will follow the Clark Fork River and Highway 200 to Lake Pend Orville, pronounced Pondere. Good to know. The beautiful Cabinet Mountains to the north, but don't crash. The grizzlies might find you. LOL. So, I've been wanting to do this flight for a while, and now I finally decided to use it as a reason to create some custom scenery. So I've designed two airports, that neither of which was in X-plane. One is Thompson Falls, where we are right now. The second is Bonners Ferry. Orbix has an excellent Bonners Ferry strip available for P3D and FSX, but not for X-plane. Mine isn't nearly as good as Orbix, but it's not bad. So I've already got the Thompson Falls one up. I'll get the Bonners Ferries one up right away. They'll be available both for download at xplane.org and also at ontheglideslope.net. Of course, they are freeware. So we're here on the ramp at Thompson Falls, and our flight is going to be about 91 miles in the air. We're going to fly northwest, following the river up to the lake, Pondere. Then we'll make a right-hand turn and a short hop a little bit further north to Bonners Ferry. CTAF, these are untowered airports, both of them, but since this area is now covered by Pilot Edge in the western expansion, I am going to be flying on Pilot Edge. So I'll be making my CTAF calls by the book. And we'll pick up and probably monitor Seattle Lakeside Center at about, for most of the flight, at 123.95. So without any further ado, we'll start getting things fired up. It's been a while since I've done this. I haven't been able to get in the airplane very often recently. But now we will do it. So let's presume we've done our briefing. And everything's punched, we're ready to go. Avionics are off, fuel selector is to both, shutoff valve is on, throttle open 1/4 inch, mixture rich, master switch. Get the flaps up all the way, there we go. Beacon is on. Fuel pump to prime. Throttle 1/4 inch, step on the brakes. There we go. This is beta 8 for X-plane 11. Haven't had any problems with it so far. It's been working fine. Fuel pump off. Avionics, nav lights. Okay. So we'll go through our run up here, get our frequency set, and be on our way. And I'll be back in just a second. Thompson Falls traffic, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf is getting ready to taxi for 26. We'll be making departure straight out Thompson Falls. And away we go. All right, so we are taxiing. I started to go down the wrong taxiway. I forgot that we have to back taxi here. Thompson Falls has some cool, quirky stuff. I enjoyed designing into it. This shed, this fence and hedge over here, the fueling station, which you can see right there. And then it's got the names of the lettering on the strip, which I was able to do, which is, I think looks cool. So we're gonna have to back taxi, so let's make that CTAF call. Thompson Falls, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf is gonna be back taxiing down for 26 for departure, Thompson Falls. And we'll back taxi our way down here and be on our way. This is default scenery. I've got some photorealistic stuff in this area, but not a lot. And I also turned off World to XP. Just wasn't liking the AutoGen very much, and it'll be interesting to see how the network is different in terms of roads and that kind of stuff. So I've got a bit of a back taxi here, so I'm going to make this back taxi, and then we'll be ready for departure. Thompson Falls traffic, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf departing 26 straight out Thompson Falls. Okay. Let's go. look like anybody's coming. Right. I'm not tracking myself with GPS or on ForeFlight with this flight. I'm just going to fly VFR the whole way. Airspeed's alive. Center line, takeoff point. And we're going to fly up at 8,500 feet. Okay, level off at 4,500 feet. Fuel pump off, back off the throttle a bit. Take ourselves off the mixture. Not quite that much. There we go. And we're settled in for cruise. All right, we're making our way up the valley of the Clark Fork River. That's the Bitter Root Mountains off to the left, and those are the Cabinet Mountains off to the right. And we're going to be coming up to the lake in a little bit here. Not a lot between here and there. If we were to have an engine out problem, we're probably trying to find a road, which is not optimal. There are a few little private strips along the way. But not much in terms of landing options. We're over Nixon Reservoir, making good progress. We are about halfway, give or take, to the lake. And again, that lake is pronounced Pend Oreille. Close to the Coeur d'Alene. I disabled World XP, and yet it looks like the mesh and the underlying network is still quite accurate. The power lines that are supposed to be running through here are right where they are supposed to be. Starting to get a couple little clouds up here in the distance, although the weather reporting everywhere we're going is VFR for where we're going to be. All right, we've had some clouds creep in, so we are staying below them, as we should. If I check out send points METAR, it's overcast 3100 there, so that may put a wrinkle in our plans. Given that it is at an altitude of 2,000 feet. And I don't really feel great about flying up at 1,000 feet. So we may, we'll see what happens, but we may go to all clear weather here just so that we have good visuals for the flight in. As much as I like the simulation to be real, I would not fly with only 1,000 above ground of altitude. But so far we're doing okay. It's interesting though, the weather was just sort of, the clouds are just sort of creeping up, and I could kind of see them in the distance, and xEnviro I think does a good job of sort of evolving the weather over time. There was an update where it got a bit more cloudy pretty fast. I don't think that's really very avoidable in any of the weather simulators that we have, including the ones that I enjoyed so much on Prepared. But it looks and feels real, and I like that. We are coming up to the mouth, or I guess the inlet of Lake Pend Oreille. We're going to fly along the northeastern shore and then take the valley north to Bonners Ferry. Once we get to this side of the lake, it's about 25 miles, and we've got about 15 miles of lake to cover, so about 40 miles, about 20 minutes left in the flight. Okay, so from a safety standpoint, we're just kind of trying to hug this side of the lake. If we were to have a engine problem, I'd probably make a turn and try to land on that road down there. Up here on this island, it looks like there's a little private strip. And on the other side, there's a strip or two, which I can't quite see, but we could try to make it to those. We're at about 4,300 feet, and that's 2,300 feet above the lake, which means at a 3-to-1 gliding ratio, we probably have, we'd probably make it. All right, so I can see that that bridge there, railroad and road bridge, and then this big valley here actually takes us up to Bonners Ferry, so we can actually make our right-hand turn. And start making our way north. And we're just going to follow the highway. There's a little strip up here, Spear Valley, in case we need a place to land. And we'll go over the little town of Naples, and then Bonners Ferry will be there in front of us. Bonners Ferry has an AWAS, it's 132.575. I don't know if the sim will have it, but we'll find out. So let's start thinking about what we're going to do here. Bonners Ferry, which is Boundary County on the charts, is 3,100 feet. Is the pattern altitude. And depending on the MEDAR, we'll probably be departing, or arriving, 20. So we've got that on the heading bug. I can see the river on the charts off there to our right. I had added the World to XP stuff because I thought that the textures would be much better than the X-Plane textures, but I think the X-Plane 11 textures are actually pretty great. They look good, and I don't have any complaints about that. They're almost as good as the Orbex stuff, I think. They're not perfect, but few things in life are. We are coming up on the little lake past Elmira. I can see it, and I can see the tower that's on the charts. 245-foot radio tower. So Bonners Ferry is up in that valley. So let's see if we can get the AWAS. Again, it's 132.575.
65 Bonners Ferry weather. Wind 220 at 5, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 1, dew point -25. Altimeter 3065.
3065. Okay. Glad I know that.
65 Bonners Ferry weather. Wind 220 at 5.
Bonners Ferry, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf is 10 miles south of the field, 3,700. We're going to be inbound for left traffic into 20, Bonners Ferry. Okay, we've told them we're coming. We've got about 500 feet to go for our pattern altitude. And I'm not quite sure where the strip is, so we might make a pass first as we get a little closer just to orient ourselves. But we should fly over the town and the river first. Start going through our descent checklist here. Our pre-landing. Fuel selector is on to both. Good. Mixture rich as it should be. Carb heat on. And as we're getting close to the pattern, we can go ahead and turn on our landing lights just so we're visible. Okay, we're getting very close. We're about 3 miles out, give or take. Bonners Ferry, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf, 3 miles south of the field. We'll be entering left downwind for 20 Bonners Ferry. Start making our way down once we're past this ridge, down to pattern altitude. Now I think the airport is up on a plateau. It sure looks like it, and it should be right in front of us. I can see the river going up the valley there. That's the Kootenai River. And so this is our heading. So we should be headed right at the strip. Okay, I think I have the strip. I think it's right in front of us. Start coming down to 3,100 feet. I see the highway. It goes right by the field. Oh, I've got the strip. There it is. Okay, good. Start coming down into pattern altitude. No beacon this time of day. Pretty view off to the left there. Bonners Ferry, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf is entering left downwind for 20 Bonners Ferry. There's just a little shot of the field as I've designed it. I got that windsock going. The name of the field there. Okay, enough video. We got to start getting ready to land. First notch flaps, carb heat on, fuel pump on, landing light is on. 45 degrees. Bonners Ferry, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf, turning left base for 20 Bonners Ferry. We're a little close to the strip, but that's okay. Bonners Ferry, Skyhawk 15 Julie Golf, turning final for 20 Bonners Ferry. Good to see that the landing system is working. Full flaps. Crosswind looks and feels pretty real. Sink rate. There we go. Let's see if we can make this. There we go. All right, so welcome to the little strip of Bonners Ferry, courtesy of On the Glide Slope. There's a couple airplanes sitting on the ramp, including a couple of tail draggers. The lettering on the tarmac here that says Bonners Ferry, which I think that stuff is cool in the real world, let alone in the sim world. We'll taxi down here a little bit. Couple T hangars down here. Twin aircraft, couple of lights for the ramp at night. Got a front loader over there. And we need to get fuel, so we can taxi down here by the fuel station. Park. Let's imagine that we're going to go park down here in this hangar. past the fancy jet. Past the fuel. Down here into these sheds. And right here. Let's say this is our hangar. This is where we live. We'll push in with the T-bar. So we'll park it right about here. Okay, so there we go. Again, that was for, was it Rackety Jack? I think so. Rackety Jack, thanks for the idea. Thanks for inspiring me to build the fields. Hope you download them if you fly X-Plane and like them. And I had fun doing it, as I always do. Let's turn my lighting back on here. So thanks for watching on the glide slope. If you have questions about the sim, if you're trying to build something like this, if you're wondering about software setup, PC, monitors, anything like that, I have almost all those questions answered at www.ontheglideslope.net. So you can check in there and you should be able to get answers to your questions. I forgot to make the CTAF call. Bonners Ferry Skyhawk 15 to the Golf is well clear of 20 Bonners Ferry. And the answers to your questions should be there. Again, just about everything is on the website. But if you have other questions or anything else you want to say, please post them in the comments and I'll reply as fast as I can. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I have. Thanks for watching on the glide slope.